Gama hizo kupanga pozo.
Gama hizo. Kali da pozo kina stop. Da bani da stop.
Da stop.
Kali kina ga musi ka pozo. Yin ka ga stop.
Okay, but it's waiting.
It's waiting.
Oh. So that's the utilization, the optimum utilization of resources. So apart from having economic objectives, an organization can have what we call social objectives. So social objectives are one of the objectives of each and every organization. So by social objectives, we refer to the objective of organization in satisfying or meeting the needs of people who are within the society. So each and every business, we say it's surrounded by the local community. The local community. So as an organization, we have to meet the needs of these people, the locals. So social objectives, they are there for an organization to meet the needs of the local community. So within social objectives, it means an organization is supplying quality products and also at fair prices. So one of the ways of meeting the needs of people who are living within the community is for us to provide quality products and then at a fair prices. So mind you, because we are getting a lot of things from this community. So we are getting the human resources, the employees, we are getting the raw materials. So for us to show appreciation to the things that we are benefiting from the community, then we have to provide or we have to supply quality products. But then they don't just have to be quality products, they also have to be products that are supplied or that are offered at fair prices. So when we are offering products at fair prices, it means we are meeting the needs of people who are living within the community, because yeah. So these people will get quality products, therefore they'll be satisfied. So it means we are meeting the needs of the people who are based in the community. So the other one is employment. So we are having or we are providing employment to people who surround this organization. So by providing employment, it means these people, they'll be able to they'll be able to earn a living for their families. So by earning a living, it means their standard of life will improve. And then at the end of the day, the whole community will improve by the employment that is generated by the company. So the other way of social objectives, so we are still within the community, is by fair remuneration to employees. So this involves the compensation of employees. So employees, they have to be fairly compensated. So for example, we are giving salaries, bonuses, and other fringe benefits. So all these benefits, they have to be given to employees, because this is one of the ways of motivating employees. So money becomes the most important motivator. So without money, it means a person cannot be motivated. So as an organization, it has to fairly compensate its employees. So by fairly compensating the employees, it means these people, they'll be motivated to work hard, thereby improving the overall performance of organization. So that's fair remuneration. So the other one, organization has to avoid unfair trading practices. So we're still within the community. So the organization is avoiding all these unfair trading practices for it to coexist with people who are found within the community. So it means the organization shouldn't exploit the locals. For example, some of the Some of the unfair trading practices would be black marketing. For example, the organization is involved in illegal selling of products. That is black marketing. So that shouldn't be done by an organization. So hoarding is also another unfair trade practices that an organization should avoid. So hoarding. So it's a process whereby you purchase products, but then after purchasing, you don't sell the products. You wait for a certain period of time for you to sell the products. So what is in your mind is that the prices of the products will increase as time passes, so I'm going to sell at that particular point in time. So after you have purchased the products, you don't sell the products immediately, but then you wait for a specific period of time for you to sell the products. So it means you are speculating the prices. So what you're thinking is that at this point in time, the prices of the products will go up, and then I'll sell at that point in time. So that is discouraged because it's unfair trading practice. Because when you're holding the products, once you have purchased the products and then you're holding them, you will reduce the amount of products in the market. So by reducing them, it means consumers, people who are within this community, they won't be able to access the products because you are holding them, waiting to be sold at a later date. So that is discouraged, and it is one of the unfair trading practices. Yeah, it can be a business strategy, but then it's unfair. It's not recommended. So because when you're holding the products, it means you are creating shortage on the market. So products are not available on the market. So with an aim of social, it means you are not meeting this social objective because you are making things on the market to be less available with holding the products. Adulteration is also another unfair business, unfair trading practice. So this is a process of compromising the quality of the product. So you can have a product which is of high quality, but then you are putting certain ingredients into the product in order to compromise the quality or to change the overall quality of the product. So it means consumers are being misled by the overall quality of the product just because of this process. You have put a certain ingredient within the product which has affected the overall quality of the product. So an example would be, for example, a phone which is expensive, and then someone is trying to put in some ingredients that is affecting the overall quality of the phone. So it means you are misleading customers, and at the end of the day, you are not serving the social objectives of an organization. Overcharging, which is you are overcharging customers, which is also unfair trading practices that should be avoided by organizations. And then misinformation. So you are misinforming people. So you are telling people that this product is of high quality when the product is not of that quality. So that's misinforming. So all these unfair trading practices must be avoided by the organization. The last one within the social objectives is community service. So as an organization, we also have to be involved in community services. So I gave an example of being involved in, for example, the community wants to build. For example, the community wants to build schools or wants to build a library. So as an organization, we can get involved in these activities. So by getting involved, it means we are serving that community. And then also the example of if, for example, the community has some sporting events, the organization can decide to sponsor that sporting event. So by doing all this, it means this organization is being involved in community services. So it's serving the organization by meeting or by participating in the community services that are going on within the community. Yeah, questions before we continue.
It's holding.
Yeah, it's holding. Holding. Oh, holding. Oh, so holding. So it's a process. Okay, so I'll give an example. So it's purchasing something. So you have a business and then you are purchasing products, but then after purchasing, you are not selling the products immediately. So you are waiting for a certain period because you are speculating that prices will increase by that time. So that's holding.
Just like the maize, the way people do the maize.
Yeah, for example, the maize. So for example, in April, you can purchase maize at a low prices, and then you are keeping the maize for November or December because you know that the prices will go up. So that activity, it's unfair. It's not recommended by businesses. So social objectives, they are mostly focused on the community. And then we have human objectives. So human objectives, they are focused on the employees. So employees within the organization. So employees, they are one of the most important stakeholders of each and every organization. So these employees, they are involved in transforming or transformation of the organization's inputs into outputs. So these are people who work on the product. So it means the success or the failure of the organization is influenced by these people, the employees. So it means without having employees, it means the organization will fail. So it will cease to exist because there are no employees. So as an important resource of an organization, these employees must be satisfied. So it means the organization has to come up with objectives that are aimed at satisfying employees because they know that employees, they are their most important stakeholder. So apart from the customer, the other important stakeholder is this one, the employee. So as the organization, we have to come up with objectives, and these objectives, they have to be aimed at meeting the needs or satisfying the needs of these employees. So that's the human objectives. So everything on human objective is concerned with meeting the needs of customers, of employees. So the first one will be providing a healthy and safe working conditions. So employees, they need safe working places. So the organization has to make sure that it's providing an environment or a working environment which is safe. For example, like the working materials, they have to be safe, and everything regarding the workplace has to be safe. So it means by providing that safety, it means the organization is now meeting the needs of customers within the organization. So the other one would be fair payment and also competitive salaries. So as we have already said, employees have to be motivated. So one way of motivating employees is by giving them competitive salaries and wages. So if we are paying our employees good salaries, it means they'll be motivated. And by being motivated, it means at the end of the day, the organization will succeed because the motivation of the employees will come with the high performance, thereby improving the overall performance of organization. Apart from payment or compensation, the business also has to provide opportunities for personal growth. So it means the employee shouldn't be stuck at one position. For example, if he has joined the organization as an ordinary employee, he has to have expectations of going up the ladder. So at the end of the day, he or she has to be promoted And then, so that is called opportunities for personal growth and development. Similarly, the organization has to provide what we call training and development programs. So by providing these training and development programs, it means the employees' potential will be increased, thereby also improving their performance within the organization. And then at the end of the day, the whole organization will improve because now the employees, they have the experience which is needed. So that's on opportunities. They also have to provide a reasonable security of service. So by providing security means the employees or the management of organization, they have to provide job security to the employees. So the employee shouldn't feel that my job will get terminated tomorrow. For example, I'll get fired or I'll be fired tomorrow. So his or her job must be secured. So by having job security, it means it also motivates the employee to work hard towards achieving the goals of organization. So that's job security. Questions before we continue? Questions? No questions? National objectives. So now we are done with the employee. Now the government or national objectives. Now, our organization is found within a region which is run by laws and regulations. And this body which creates laws and regulations is called the government. So the government is responsible for coming up with policies within the region. So these policies, they govern the overall activities of this region. So now the government becomes an important stakeholder within each and every business. So as a business, it also has to have objectives of contributing towards the development of the nation. So all the objectives that are within the national objectives of an organization, they are aimed at contributing towards the growth and development of the country in which the organization is based. So these are some of these objectives. So the first one is job creation. So the government wants more jobs to be created. So the government will foster the development of businesses within the economy. So if an organization is established within this environment or within this government, it means it's meeting or it's contributing to the nation's objectives of creating employment. So that becomes one of the objectives of an organization. Government. So as a business, it also contributes to the development of taxation. So each and every organization will be paying taxes to the government. So by paying taxes, it means this taxation is the one which is making up the government revenue or the government income or the government budget. So it means by the organization being established in this country, it means it's contributing towards the budget, towards the revenue of the government. And at the end of the day, that money is used for various social services. For example, construction of schools, yes, hospitals, trade centers. So all those are constructed by the government revenue, which is collected from the businesses in form of taxation. So it means if an organization is established, it means that organization automatically it's contributing towards the development of the nation by paying taxes, thereby contributing to the government revenue. Questions? So the other one is the business is contributing to economic self-sufficiency of the government. So what the government wants is to be self-sufficient. So by self-sufficient, it means the organization, I mean the government has to be self-reliant. So it shouldn't depend on other people for example, it shouldn't depend on other people to provide them with services or goods. So the government wants locally-based commodities. So by having locally-based commodities, it means the organization is being self-sufficient, which means the people who are within this country, they are not depending on imports. So they don't have to import products because they already have products within the nation. So it has advantages. So when a country is self-sufficient, it has advantages. For example, we have a country day when having foreign currency, it means this country is developing. But then by being reliant, I mean by not being self-reliant, it means we are importing more goods. We are buying more goods from other countries. And then at the end of the day, as Malawians, our economy is worsening, is not improving. So by establishing an organization in a specific country, it's contributing to the nation's self-reliance, which is one of the objectives within the national objectives of the organization. Yeah. So we are continuing. Social justice. So social justice is also one of the objectives of each and every nation. So as an organization, I mean as a nation, it would promote social justice. So social justice, it just means equal accessibility to services within the nation. So the government wants each and every individual to have equal access to services or to things that are provided within the nation. So the person's age, the person's background, the person's education level shouldn't be a challenge to the access of resources within this environment. So organizations too, they facilitate this social justice or equal access to things within the nation. So how do they do this? So organizations, when they're employing people, they don't look where the person is coming from, or they don't look at the age of a person, or they don't look at, for example, the height of a person. So they are looking at the competences. So does this person has skills? Is he or she competent enough to be on this job? So it means the business, I mean the business is being fair, or is being equal to each and every person within, to each and every person who wants to work with that organization. So by doing that means the organization is promoting social justice, which is equal access to services or to everything which is found within the nation. Social justice. questions on social justice and everything on national objectives. Global objectives. So now, this organization may be based in Malawi, but then this organization is not limited by the borders. So it doesn't mean that when an organization is based in Malawi, it has to only provide services or products to the citizens of Malawi only. No. So this organization can go global, or it can also exploit some markets which are not served across the world. So by meeting the needs of foreign-based customers, it means this organization is meeting what we call global objectives. So we might have an organization in Malawi, and then that organization can be providing products, but then it's also having customers who are based in other countries. So by doing that means that organization is also contributing towards the overall development of the nation. I mean, of the whole world, not just Malawi, but then of the whole world. So some of the objectives within global objectives of an organization. One, we want to improve the global standard of living. So the standard of living, so in the world, the standard of living is not the same. For example, the standard of living for Malawians is not the same to the standard of living for the Americans. So there's a difference in standard of living. Why? One of the reasons why the standard of living is different is because, for example, United States has businesses or has business organizations that are not found in Malawi. So as an organization, for example, let's imagine we have an organization which is in America, in US, and then it wants to improve the standard of living. It wants to fulfill this global objective. So it means that organization, it won't be restricted to meeting the needs of people who are based in US, but then it also have customers who are based in Malawi. So by selling their products to customers who are based in Malawi, it means it's meeting this objective. Because if Malawians are accessing that product, it means obviously their standard of living is improving because they are able to access high quality products. So that's where this objective is coming from. So if we are selling products to people who are based in foreign lands, it means we are basically improving the standard of living of those people. That's the first one. The next one, which is also similar to the first one, it's reducing global disparities. So by global disparities, it means differences in economies. For example, we have people who are extremely poor, and then we have people who are extremely rich. So it means as an organization, it has to take part in reducing these disparities or these differences in economies. So for example, we have an organization in US. So US is one of the advanced countries. So it means by providing products to Malawians, it means they are reducing the difference that is there between Malawians and the US. In this case, Malawians who are poor and who don't have the capacity to produce the products by themselves, they're able to access the products that are made in US. So that means that gap is being reduced between the most richest and the most poorest. And by doing that means the organization is contributing to the overall development of the whole world. So that's the reduction of global disparities. So the other one is this one. So we want to make sure that competitive products or quality products, they are available across the globe. So for example, we still use that example. A company which is based in US that company would automatically provide competitive products or quality products. But then those quality products, they are only based in US. But then now it's the objective of this organization to make sure that those products, they are based globally. So each and every person across the world is able to access that product. So by doing that means now each and every person within the world or across the world can access that product, because organizations are able to provide that product to every customer who wants or who has the capacity to own that product. So these are the global objectives of the organization. Questions, clarifications, or comments? So is it clear on global objectives? Or a comment? Yeah. Yeah, so, okay. She's saying, you mean all these objectives? So she's saying, do these objectives apply in Malawi? So what she means is that do organizations that are found in Malawi are they also responsible for meeting the global needs of people? So yes. So although Malawian companies, most of them, they just focus on local customers, but then we have also other companies in Malawi that provide products for international based customers. So what are these companies? Examples? So yes, so University of Long has students who are based in other countries. So it means UNLEO is also improving, one, the standard of living. Two, UNLEO is also making competitive products and services to be accessed globally. So he talked of Ilovo. So Ilovo is also another organization. So yes, it applies. But then this objective, it also depends on the capital of the business. Because if you don't have enough capital, then you cannot meet the needs of other people who are found across the borders. Now, so after looking the categories of objectives, for most profit-making organizations, they have their own objectives. So there's a difference between a profit-making organization's objectives and a non-profit-making organization's objective. So whatever we have looked at, those are the objectives that can be provided or that can be fulfilled by either an organization which is profit-making or an organization which is not for profit. But then for most organizations that are there to make profits, they have their own objectives. So one of the most common objectives of most profit-making organization is to survive on the market. So survival becomes the most common objectives of most organizations. But then this objective, it mostly applies to organizations that are just establishing themselves on the market, or they are called startups. So startups are those organizations that are coming into the market for the first time. So what happens is that when you are coming, or when you are being established for the first time, you don't have connections. So as a business, you want to operate a business, you don't have customers. So this is the most common thing. So if we can start a business, for example, in here, we want to start a company, one thing which will be common is that we don't have customers. And then we don't have connection with suppliers. And then we don't know how the government works in that region. So we are going to have more disadvantages than advantages if we are starting a business for the first time. So during our first years, for example, first year of operation, second year of operation, we cannot aim to make profits as an organization because we don't know much about that industry. We don't have customers. So it means during these years, we'll be building our business. So we'll be trying to have more customers. So by promoting the products, and then by also engaging with suppliers, by engaging with governments, we'll be building our reputation or our image as an organization. So during our first year or second or third year as an organization, we cannot be making profits. So what we'll be fighting for is survival. So we don't have to be out of the business. We still have to be within the business. So even though we are not making profits, but then we are still not giving up. We are still going on. So what we want now within the survival, we just want to be making enough income to cover the cost of operations. For example, as a business in that which is aiming to survive, it just wants to be having more money to cover their expenses, their costs, but then they know that they cannot make profits at that time. So survival becomes the first objective of each and every organization. Now, the organization will start making profits now. Now, it means now customers are aware of the product that we are providing. Now we have developed cordial relationships with our suppliers. Now we know what the government expects from us. And then we also know the terms and conditions of the lending institutions. Now it means we're now established. Now, we'll reach a certain point which is called break even. So that is a point whereby the organization's revenue is equal to the organization's expenses. So the revenue of organization is equal to the revenue of a business. And whatever comes after that, it becomes a profit now. Because now we have achieved that level whereby the organization's expenses, or what the organization what organization has to have to produce products is equal to what the organization is producing. So that is called break even. Now everything that comes after break even, it becomes a profit now. So now at this level, it means organization is switching from survival. Now it can survive. Now profit making now. Now we are switching to profitability now. Now we have to be making profits. Now we can survive, we can pay our employees, we can pay our taxes, we can pay the suppliers. If we have bought products on credit, we can do everything. We are surviving. So what should be done next? We have to be earning now profits now. So profit making or profit earning becomes another major goal of all organizations that are into private sector. So it means we are making profits. So by making profits, it means our overall revenue, or what we are making, or our sales, they are higher than our expenses. Or what is taking us to produce the business is less as compared to what we are making out of that business. So that is a profit. So we are at that level where we are making profits. So after that, now growth now. So we are so we are able to make profits. Now we have to grow as an organization. So we shouldn't be at the same place, but then we should be advancing as an organization. So how do we advance? So advancement or growth can come in terms of profits. So we have to increase the profits, or we have to increase the production capacity, or the number of employees. So it means all those strategies, they'll be made in order to grow the business. Or employee prosperity. So employee prosperity would mean providing fair compensation to our employees, and also engaging our employees in training and development programs. So all those or all these can be one way of growing our business. Questions, if you have questions, people. Questions. So questions, guys, before we.
So,
Yeah.
these common private objectives for private sectors apply for those who are aiming high profits. This is a profit organization because they say that some other private sectors are profit organizations.
Okay.
So that this one apply
To
profit organizations only or profit.
no, we also have another objective that is explaining that point. So, okay, it doesn't mean that all organizations that are in private sector, it doesn't mean that those organizations, they are for profits only. So also have some organizations into private sector that don't aim to achieve profits. So they also have their own objectives. So those organizations, for example, they can aim to survive. Maybe they can aim to survive, but then they don't aim to make profit. So they skip this objective. So they go to other objectives. But then, yeah. So for those organizations that are there not to make profits, they skip the first objective. They can go to growth, or they can also go to increasing the market share. So we have already talked about market share. So the organization wants to increase the number of customers. So that can be one of the objectives of that organization. So by increasing the number of customers, it means this organization has to come up with effective strategies. For example, it means, one way of improving the market share, it means the organization has to have competent employees. So it has to recruit employees who are competent, who have skills, because at the end of the day, those competent employees, they will produce quality products. So by producing quality products, it means it will attract customers, thereby improving the market share. And then the organization can also have after-sales services. So once we have sold a product to a person, we can also provide after-sales services. For example, maintenance services. So a person can come back to us if he has found problems in that product, and then we can maintain the product for free. So those are some of the examples of after-sales services. So once we are providing those services, it means customers will be satisfied. And once customers are satisfied, it means customers will be drawn to our organization. And then at the end of the day, we are going to increase the amount of customers that we are commanding from a certain market. So that can be used to increase the overall share that the organization has from the market. Yeah, so this one is what he was trying to say. So we are still in private sector. In private sector has some organization which are not there to make profits. So they are operating not to make profits, but then to provide a service to the community. So those organizations, once they have made a profit, that profit is not, or this profit is called excess money. So once they have made excess money, this money is not shared to the members, but then it is reinvested back into the business. So those organizations, they are there to provide a service, not to achieve profits. So those organizations, they are called social enterprises. So they exist not to make profits, but then to provide services to people within the society. So that becomes also one of the objectives of organizations that are into private sector. So This can include the NGOs. For example, NGOs, so they don't operate to make profits, but then they're operating in order to serve the society. So once they have made excess money, which is profits for some organization, they don't distribute this money to the investors. So they just return this money to the business for other activities. So that's another objective. The last one, so for diversification. So it's also another objective which can also fall under the growth objective of an organization. So on diversification, there's a proverb that says, I don't know if it's a proverb, it says we don't have to keep our eggs in one basket. Yes, we don't have to keep our eggs in one basket. So that is what is called diversification. So it's expanding the business. So we can have a business which is, for example, is selling maize. So our organization is selling maize. So we are on diversification, whereby we have to expand the business by providing new products. For example, we can be offering maize as an organization, but then we shouldn't rely on maize only. So we can diversify by providing other products. For example, yes, we are providing maize, but then we can also be selling other things. Yes. So we are diversifying because we don't want to put all our income in one thing. So we don't have to rely on maize only, because we can face some risk, and then at the end of the day, our business will be affected. So this diversification function objective one is there to reduce economic risk. So if we are affected with some unexpected changes for maize, it means we can rely on other products. But then if we are only relying on a single product, once this product is affected, once we are having low sales on this product, it means we are done. But then if we have other products, it means we can effectively operate on the market and we can survive. And then we also want to exploit potential and underserved markets. So yes, we are providing maize. The majority of Malawians, all Malawians, they use maize. All Malawians for nsima. But then we have maybe a certain group of people, they don't consume maize. So they use, so they consume other products. So as an organization, we can serve that market which is not served. So although most Malawians, they depend on maize, but then we have a certain group of people, they don't depend on maize, they have their own product. So it means as an organization, we are trying to serve that market, which is not served by the majority of businesses. So I gave an example of Apple, but then we have so many examples of organizations that have diversified in Malawi and also across the world. So you can be providing so many products for you to run away from economic risk and for you to serve the underserved markets. Questions. So, questions, guys, questions. So, if you don't have questions, okay, so we have to finish with the objectives of stakeholders, but then it'll be, no, it'll be, so the objectives of stakeholders. So these are the stakeholders that I'm talking about. So we'll start from here. So yes, this side. So we have these stakeholders: suppliers, local government, management. So all these are stakeholders. So they have their own objectives or their own interest in the organization. So each and every person has to at least describe one of the interests of these people or their stake in the organization. So what are their objectives? What do they want from an organization? So we are starting from this side. So yeah, you just you stand up and you pick what you want to say. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we still have time. Okay. Okay, we are on objectives. We are on objectives of stakeholders, or what stakeholders want from the business, or their objectives in being one of the stakeholders of this business. So, for example, so what does the government want from this business, or what does the customer want from this business? What about the local community? So they are simple. So yes, we'll start from this side. So yeah. So you just choose one. But then we have to be fast because each and everyone has to say something. So yes, this side. So someone has to start. So maybe you can come and plan. Okay. So, hey. So guys. Okay. Oh, so we have changed.
Wow.
But then, okay. Wait. Okay. So yeah, we have changed. So how many groups do we have? Yeah, we have 5 groups. So, okay, for 2 minutes, we still have time. For 2 minutes, you'll be explaining this in your groups. We have groups in this class. Okay, okay. How many are not doing introduction to management in this room? Yes. So you just